The main advice I would like to give is that you should try to make love as if it were a spiritual practice. This most likely comes quite unexpectedly, and for those of you who are less into spirituality, it may lead to some strange reactions. However, just be open minded and let me explain. As a matter of fact, it's all quite straightforward. In the mature ego states, sex becomes a conscious act. And instead of just reacting to an urge or hormones, it is something you decide to do. This may sound weird, but do you always go to bed when you are tired? Do you always eat when you are hungry? Do you always get an ice cream each time you want one? No, well, the same applies to sex. It may sound very unromantic and unerotic, but doing something consciously requires a certain discipline. Instead of reacting to a spontaneous arousal and expecting your partner to reciprocate for some quick sex in between you got home from work and before the kids are there as well, you may want to plan for it. And there is definitely nothing wrong with spontaneous sex, but many people do not find this the best way to relax and surrender. Stress in daily life, fighting kids, still having to prepare something for tomorrow. All of these are not helpful to be present in the sexual act, and they make our ego state even a bit heavier. And I know planning sex does not sound romantic, but as a matter of fact, research has shown that most couples that plan sex regularly claim to have a high level of sexual and relationship satisfaction. For example, a friend of mine who's in his early 60s has some kind of agreement with his wife that they take turns for preparing the Friday or Saturday evening. So they prepare some nice food, choose a movie to watch together, prepare the bedroom, and then take the lead in the sexual act. So one week he's in charge, the other week she is. And of course it may happen that during the week there is some kind of spontaneous sex, but there is no expectation for this to happen. So how often should this happen? Well, some people may want this twice a week. Others are happy with twice a month, and others may be happy if it happens just once in 2 months or even less. There's no right quantity of sex, as long as both partners are happy with it. As a matter of fact, if you have sex too often, it may become more of a habit or a ritual. The main thing is that you are disciplined on when sex is going to happen, but that you are also disciplined to be focused on spending time together and not think of work or the kids or the health of your parents or anything else. Be disciplined in focusing on your partner. Take your time, plan a date night, or organize an overnight getaway. A second important element in turning lovemaking into a spiritual practice entails that you do not seek love through sex, but that you use it to express your love for your partner. It's not as much about what you get, but more about what you give. So I'm not talking about the stereotypical giving to get of type 2, but a real altruistic approach. So try to move away from the ego gratification. Try to move away from meeting the physiological need. Try to move away from the seeking aliveness and merging. Try to move away from trying to strengthen the bond. Just show your love. Give your love. So how can you express your love in sex? Well, just see the divine in your partner. See the partner as this little piece of oneness or unity. Look into the eyes of your partner and see the source of everything inside your partner. Submit to it, surrender to it, serve it. Desire your partner, because there is nothing more libido killing as being in bed with somebody who doesn't desire you. A third thing that can help is to see sex as a very specific type of meditation. Osho, whom I mentioned a few times before, said that one should basically meditate while making love. So what does it mean? Meditation is the practice of presence, of being here and now, of letting go. During sex, don't think of what you have to do tomorrow. Don't think of what the kids are going to eat. Don't think of how you are perceived. Don't think of how you can improve your performance. Don't think of what you want to do next. Don't overthink or rationalize. Don't fantasize. Just be in touch with your sensations. Be aware of what enhances the sensitivity and arousal. Focus on how your body reacts. Notice the tactile experiences, but don't overthink. Just observe and notice what is happening. Breathe and stay in the body. Fourth, don't have any expectations on yourself or your partner and don't judge the outcome. Healthy, mature and satisfying sex is all about being present. But you cannot be present if you're focused on a particular goal. According to Buddhism, expectations lead to suffering. And indeed, the more you focus on wanting to get an orgasm, the more difficult it gets. The more you focus on wanting great sexual satisfaction, the further you get removed from it. All too often, people in today's consumption society overrate sex. They're not happy to settle with just normal or okay sex. No, they want peak experiences. Also, do not expect your partner to be responsible for your orgasm. It's not true and not fair. Everybody is responsible for his or her own orgasm. But again, don't expect it from yourself. Don't focus on it. And finally, surrender to the sexual act. Be vulnerable. Be authentic. Let go of control. Don't have sex. Let sex happen through you.